One spoonful stops dog itching and keeps fleas away naturally. It's 11 p.m. and you're lying in bed trying to fall asleep when you hear it from across the room. Scratch, 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 then a thud as your dog flops over to attack the other side. You already know tomorrow is going to look exactly the same. Maybe you've already spent $50 on flea drops that barely lasted 2 weeks before the itching crept back in. Maybe your vet put your dog on a steroid that calmed things down for a little while, only for it to come back the moment the prescription ran out. I want you to know something before we go any further. This is not your fault, and there are gentle, natural things you can add to your dog's routine tonight that many owners find genuinely helpful alongside good veterinary care. If you came here from the thumbnail, this is exactly what I'm talking about, and by the end of this video, you'll know what to try, how to use it safely, and when it's time to call your vet instead. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Stephen Clark, and welcome back to the channel. Itchy skin is one of the top reasons pet parents walk into my clinic every week, and almost every one of them has already tried something that didn't quite stick. So today we're doing a complete walkthrough. We'll talk about the common causes behind itching, a simple kitchen mix that can support skin comfort, a natural habit that helps make your dog less appealing to fleas, and a root cause approach worth discussing with your vet if the itching keeps coming back. Grab a notebook if you want to take notes. Let's get into it. Let's start with why itching can be so stubborn. Itchy skin in dogs almost always comes down to one of a handful of causes: fleas or other parasites, environmental allergies like pollen or dust mites, food sensitivities, skin infections, or in some cases, an underlying hormonal condition. The frustrating part is that several of these can look identical from the outside, which is exactly why itching that doesn't improve or keeps coming back season after season really deserves a proper vet visit to identify what's actually driving it. What I'm going to share today are supportive, gentle additions that many pet parents use alongside their vet's guidance, not a replacement for diagnosis when something more serious is going on. Now let's talk about a simple mix some owners like to add to their dog's routine. Take a teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey and mix it with a small pinch of ground turmeric, just enough to turn the honey a light golden color. Honey has natural antibacterial properties and has long been used to support minor skin healing, while turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that's been studied for its anti-inflammatory properties in several species. I want to be upfront with you. This isn't a cure, and it won't replace medication for a dog with a true allergic flare or infection. But as a gentle daily addition, some owners find it helps as part of an overall skincare routine. Give it a couple of weeks, and if you're not seeing any improvement, that's actually useful information. It tells you and your vet that something else is likely driving the itch. If your dog has a hot spot right now, a raised, red, irritated patch from licking or chewing, a small dab of that same raw honey directly on the area can feel soothing and may help keep the surface a little cleaner while it heals. Just keep in mind that hot spots can sometimes need a medicated approach if they don't start improving within a few days. So don't wait too long to check in with your vet if it's getting worse instead of better. Now let's talk about fleas and ticks, since itching and parasites often go hand in hand. Fleas hunt largely by scent, and some owners find that adding a small pinch of dried rosemary to their dog's food a few times a week seems to make their dog a little less appealing to passing parasites. I want to be honest with you, this is a mild, supportive habit, not a replacement for a proven flea and tick prevention product, especially if you live somewhere fleas and ticks are a serious year-round risk. Think of it as one small piece of a bigger prevention plan, not the whole plan. One habit that does make a real, measurable difference is washing your dog's bedding in hot water at least once a week, twice if you're somewhere warm and humid. Flea eggs and larvae can survive hidden in fabric for weeks, quietly waiting to hatch and reinfest your dog right when you think the problem's solved. Vacuum the spots where your dog rests most often too. This part isn't a maybe. It's one of the most effective things you can do. Let's talk about gut health, because it's a piece of the itching puzzle for some dogs, though not all. Diets heavy in cheap fillers can affect the balance of bacteria in a dog's digestive tract. And there's a connection between gut health and immune function that researchers are still actively studying in both humans and animals. Adding a spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt to your dog's food a few times a week is a low-risk way to introduce some beneficial bacteria, and many owners find it agrees with their dog well. Here's an important safety note. Before buying any yogurt for your dog, always check the label. Some yogurts, especially low-sugar or diet varieties, contain xylitol, sometimes relabeled as birch sugar, which is highly toxic to dogs even in small amounts. Stick to plain yogurt with no artificial sweeteners, and read the label twice before it goes anywhere near the bowl. Now, how do you actually put this together without overwhelming your dog's system? Don't introduce everything at once. That's a fast way to cause an upset stomach. Start with the honey and turmeric mix this week and give it about 10 days. If your dog's stomach handles it fine, you can rotate in the rosemary and later the yogurt. Slow and steady gets the best results. I also want to be honest about when these gentle approaches aren't enough. If you see open wounds, significant hair loss, oozing sores, or your dog is so uncomfortable they're not sleeping, please don't try to manage that with kitchen ingredients alone. That level of irritation needs a proper veterinary exam, since it could point to a severe allergy, parasite infestation, or infection that needs targeted treatment. These natural habits are a supportive tool, not a substitute for veterinary care when something's genuinely wrong. And I'd always rather you ask a question in the comments than guess on something this important. Itchy skin is exhausting for both of you, and these are a few simple, low-risk things worth trying tonight while you keep an eye on how your dog responds. If this helped, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this kind of practical advice deserves to reach more pet parents dealing with the same thing. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and let me know in the comments, is your dog dealing with itching, fleas, or both? I read as many comments as I can. Give your pup a gentle scratch behind the ears from me, and I'll see you in the next video.